Hello my dear students, in this video we are going to start our Python programming language in class 11th, and this is the basic chapter in which we are going to introduce what is basically a Python is, what are its main features, and how can you install the Python and how can you using a Python ideally you can work in it. What is Python? Python is basically a high level programming language which is used for doing the programming in computers. If I ask you what is a programming language, so we can say that a programming language is a language of communication with the computers. It is a language using which we are giving the instructions and command to the computers to perform our task, and indirectly we can say that it is a language of creating the programs and giving the instructions. It is also called the high level because it is uses the English like keywords for its language words. This language was developed by a famous person, Guido van Rossum, in the year 1991. You will be amazing to know that the Python language was named after the comedy television show Monty's Python's Flying Circus. So don't confuse that it is named after the Python's name. Let us now try to understand some interesting features of this Python programming language. Number one, it is easy to use because it is a very compact and easy to use object-oriented programming language with very simple syntax rules. So one can easily start its programming with this language. Learning of programming with this language is quite convenient. Second, this is a very expressive language. Expressive language means fewer lines of code and simpler syntax is required to compare to other popular programming languages like C, C++, Java, etc. Then it is an interpreted language, means it is a language which uses interpreter, not the compiler. Cross-platform language means it is equally applicable. Yeah, it can run Python programs can equally well run on variety of platforms, whether it is Windows, Linux, Unix, Macintosh, or any other smartphone, etc. It is free and open source. Free and open source means you can easily available, it is available freely on the net and you can download it, and open source means its source code is also available which you can use it. It has variety of usage applications. Python has evolved into a powerful, complete and useful programming languages over these years. These days Python is being used in many diverse fields and applications. Completeness means for most of the times it required functionalities available through various modules of Python standard library. Thus it is also called Python follows battery included philosophy. So these are the some interesting features of the Python programming language due to which we are seeing its popularity is increasing these days more and more. Now the Python has some drawbacks also. Although Python is a very powerful and yet simple language with so many advantages, it is not actually a full perfect programming language. Let us see some minuses or some disadvantages of this language. Number one, it is not the fastest language. Python offers faster development times, but the execution times are not that fast compared to some compiled languages. Python offers a less library support for almost all computing programs, but its library is still not competent with the languages like C, C++, Java, etc. It means its library is not as powerful as the libraries of other languages. Python next is not strong on type binding. It means that Python interpreter is not so strong on catching the type mismatching issues. It is not tightly bounding on the types of the data. Not easily converted programming language. Because of the lack of the syntax, Python is a very easy language to platform, but it is difficult to translate it in other programming languages. This is because most other languages have a structured defined syntax, whereas Python does not have so. In spite of such difficulties, even Python is very popular and it is used. It is also interpreted language, and all the commands you write are interpreted and executed one by one. Let us now try to learn how can you install the Python. Python is a very easily can be installed and downloaded from the website python.org, and then you can easily, by following some simple step-by-step installation instructions, you can download the Python from on your computer. The Python can be installed in the Mac operating system also and the Linux operating system also. There are various IDs available of the Python in the market, and one can use any ID according to its requirement. Now see, first, this is the website location, python.org. You can open this website in your computers and then go to the download section, and in that Windows you can select the operating system Windows, and clicking on this Windows download for Windows button, you can download the Python on your computer. And then after following simple for processes and simple steps, you can easily install the Python in your computer. What is integrated development environment? IDE stands for integrated development environment. It is basically a software pack that consists of equipments which are used for developing and testing the software. A developer throughout SDLC uses many tools like editor, libraries, compiling and testing platforms. IDE is basically a software using which the programmers can develop the programs, they can test the softwares, and they are using the some tools like editors, libraries, compiling and testing platforms in it. It means it is an integration of various different tools in a single place. So Python ideally is also one such IDE which is used by us. Now there are some different ways of working in Python. The two different ways of working in Python are interactive mode and script mode. But before telling you about these modes, let me show you that after installing the Python, how can you open it. So if you want to open the Python in your program, you can go to the start button, then click on all the programs, and then you click on the IDLE. This is the location from where you can open your Python IDLE. So this is the basic screen of the Python ideally when you open it. This is known as Python prompt, and this is the menu using which you can do the various things on the Python. You can use these for the different purposes. Now in this Python you can work. This is the Python ideally in which you can easily work. You can type the commands here and can see their action. So this is the how you can use the Python for your programming. You can type the commands here. Now again, when moving to the what are the two different ways of working in Python ideally. Number one is script mode and the second is interactive mode. The basic Python command, or you are new to the Python programming. It means whenever you are new to the Python programming, you can use this mode. For example, the current which I am showing you, this is the Python interactive mode. Here you can use the single line command and you can immediately get the results of that. Suppose I am creating a is equal to 10, a number, then a will be created. If I print the value of a, I can easily get the value of a here itself. So this is the interactive mode of your Python programming. What are the some advantages and disadvantage of this is that this is helpful for you when your script is extremely short and you want to get the immediate results faster, as you have to type a command and then press the enter key to get the results. It is good for the beginners who need to understand the Python basics. So this ideally mode is a very useful for those who are working in the Python first time and they want the immediately good results. However, there are certain drawbacks of interactive mode. Editing the code in interactive mode is hard, as you have to move back to the previous commands or else you have to rewrite the whole command again. It is very tedious to run long pieces of code. This method is not useful and not suitable for the writing the code and entire programs. Now, how can you write the programs in the Python? Ideally, you can use the script mode. The script mode is where you can write a long piece of a code in your program which spans multiple files. Interactive mode is not recommended for that. A script mode is the way to go in such cases. In script mode, you write your code in a text file and save it with a py extension, which stands for Python. This script mode is very easy to run large pieces of code. In script mode, it is editing is also possible, and it is a good for programmers, beginners, as well as for the experts. I will show you in a short while how can you use it and make a save a program. It can be tedious when you need to type, yeah, run only program a single or a few lines of code. You must create and save files before executing your code. Let me show you the script mode and how can you use it. I am opening the script mode here in our Python. For scripting, opening the in script mode, you have to just select a new file. You can write a program here. Now, while writing the program, suppose you want to the print hello, you can write this way. This is the command which we will going to slowly learn and use in our programming in coming days. And suppose you want to print my name is Ravi, so you can write in this way. I'm just telling you today a simple statements and a very simple program. Later on you will learn easily and you can make your own programs also. Before running it, you have to save this program. Now, for saving the program, you have to decide a location, and in that location you have to save this file. Name to this file sample.py and save it on the desktop. Now, to execute this program, press F5 and you will get results on the screen. See here, hello, my name is Ravi. This is the output of your program sample.py file which you have saved. Let me again do the some changes and then again you run it. I will open this file. I suppose make some changes. And again save this changes. Now just minimize it, close this interactive mode again and then open the script mode and now run this code. So there are the two modes of using this Python ideally in our program. Either you can use the writing the code in a single file and then saving that file with the py extension, that is the program in which you can save, or you can use the Python shell. This is the Python shell in which there will be a prompt and you can type the commands here and you can write in this way also. So there are two ways of working in the Python ideally. Next is that finally we can say that there is a both the modes are available, but there is a differences between these two script modes and the interactive mode. In a script mode, there the file must be created and saved before executing the code to get the results. The second method which I told you is a script mode in which I have created a file and saved that file before executing it. Whereas in interactive mode, the results are written immediately just after the pressing enter key. Just I write the on the prompt print statement and just press the enter key, I get the result. In script mode, you are provided with a direct way of editing with your code. Now in the script mode you can do the editing and all these, but this is not possible in the interactive mode. So finally we can conclude that there are two modes in which we can create and run Python scripts. The interactive mode involves running your code directly on the Python shell, which can be accessed from the terminals of the operating system. Whereas in script mode you have to create a file, give it a name in the Py extension and then run your code. The interactive mode is suitable when running a few lines of code, whereas the script mode is recommended when you need to create large applications. So in this chapter we have learned what is actually a Python language is, what are its advantages, how can you install the Python on your computers, and how can you use the Python ideally in script and the interactive mode. There are some few IDEs also, Spider IDE and Jupyter also there, but these are little bit advanced, so we will later on use them in our programming. You can download this Python ideally in your computer system and start working on that. Try to write simple commands as the commands which I told you in the next coming videos. Try to them, execute them, and fundamentals of Python programming in view, which start to learn what how the code is created and how you can use it. Finally, I can tell you that Python is a very high level good programming language. It is cross platform, free and open source language. It has a variety of features. It is an interpreter based, means in which the code can be executed one by one, and Python IDE can be used in either script mode or interactive mode. So thank you. In the next video we will start with the Python basics also. Thank once again, thank you.